Good day children, welcome to 6th standard science classes online. We are going to start with lesson number 6, substances in daily use. In the previous lesson, lesson number 5, you have studied about the states and properties of substances. Now depending upon those states, which are solid, liquid and gaseous, and the properties, for example elasticity, plasticity, we are going to see how these substances can be used in our daily life. Let's get started with the lesson. Please come to textbook page number 42. Everything that is shown on the screen, I want you to note it down in your notebook. All the slides that will be displayed on the screen, I want everyone to note them down point wise in your notebook. Okay, can you recall which three objects do you see in the picture? You see a chair, you see a table, and you see a cupboard. How did you identify them? You identified them because of their specific shape, correct? What material are they made of? So the chair looks like it's made from wood. The table is probably made from plastic, and the cupboard is made from iron. Okay, so the chair is made of wood, the table is made of plastic, and the cupboard is made of iron. Can any one of these materials be used to make all the three objects? Take for example wood. A chair can be made of wood, table can also be made out of wood, and a cupboard can also be made out of wood. Okay, let's move further. Substances and objects. See, all the substances around you are made up of very small particles. Okay, objects are made of substances. What objects? Like the chair, the table and the cupboard that we saw. These are all objects which are made up of specific substances like wood, plastic or iron, having a specific shape and arrangement by which we identify them. We call a thing a chair because it is got a specific shape, correct? Now, substances, for example wood, plastic, steel, for making table, chair and cupboard. Substances can be given a desired shape. Properties of substances are considered for making things. Like the properties are discussed in the previous lesson, all those properties will be taken into consideration when you want to make any object out of it. Okay? It means that we consider the properties of the substances to use them for making things. The same substance or material can be used to make many objects. Okay, now let me give you an example of it. For example, if you take cotton, so cotton can be used to make a cloth, fiber or thread. It can be used to make handkerchiefs, quilts, mattresses, pillows, etc. Now quilts are something that you use to cover up your body in the night when you're sleeping. Okay, the second example is iron, steel bars, griddles or tawas that you use at home. Okay, flat pans or tawas. Parts of automobiles, automobiles meaning vehicles. Okay, tables, cupboards, etc. Third example, aluminium, kitchen utensils, electric cables, etc. So these three substances, cotton, iron and aluminium, can be used to make different objects. By studying the properties of substances, we can select substances suitable for our purpose. Can you start making iron clothes? Can you start wearing clothes that are made out of iron? No, obviously not. You need cotton. It is because cotton has got a specific property. What is it? It is soft. It is sweat absorbing. Okay, so that is the reason why cotton is used for making clothes and not iron. So this way it will help you identify what object can be made out of which substance depending upon the properties that it has. Okay, now kinds of substances. The substances around us are either natural or man-made. Okay, now on your page number 42 you will see a blue box which says classify the following substances according to their uses. What are the substances given? Sand, soap, wool, window glass, bamboo, cotton bricks, silk, leafy vegetables, cement, fruits, water and sugar. So now according to the use. Now, what are the different uses that you see? For example, if you start with sand, sand can be used for construction purpose. So let our first point for classification be construction. So what other things can be used apart from sand? So for construction, sand, window glass, bamboo, bricks, cement and water can be used. Now, for example, now the second one, let's move on to the second one. Food, leafy vegetables, fruits, water and sugar. Isn't it? These are the substances which can be used as food. Clothes, what can be used? Wool, silk and cotton. And for cleaning purposes, you can use soap. So depending upon the use, for construction, for eating, that is food, for your clothing purpose and your cleaning purpose, we have made 4 parts of the substances over here. Okay. Now next, let's see, can you tell what is the difference between the two groups of natural substances? Now what are the two groups here? It's leather, jute, wool and cotton, and water, soil and metals. So what are the two groups? Leather, jute, wool, cotton. This is one group, and the second group is water, soil and metals. What is the difference between these two? So the difference is leather, jute, wool and cotton are obtained from living things. Correct? Leather comes from where? It comes from animals. Jute is grown. Wool comes from animal. Cotton is again grown. So these are all obtained from living things, plants or animal. Okay. On the other hand, water, soil and metals are obtained from a non-living source. Okay, these are obtained from a non-living source. Now, let's go into little depth of this. So let us see what are natural substances and man-made substances in detail. Okay. Natural substances. Substances available in nature are called natural substances. The substances that are obtained from living things are called biotic substances. Okay. For example, what are biotic substances that are obtained from living things? We saw in the last slide. It is cotton, jute, leather. Yes or no? Okay. And the substances obtained from non-living things are called abiotic substances. What are the examples of it? Soil and water. Okay. I hope everything is clear up till here. Let's move on to the next part. Now this is a question for you to answer. How are leather and wool different from jute and cotton? I have already told you. Leather and wool are obtained from animals. Yes. And jute and cotton are obtained from plants. So leather and wool are obtained from animals and they are animal origin. Okay. Jute and cotton are obtained from plants, therefore they are of plant origin. Okay. Please remember this, animal origin and plant origin. So natural substances can be divided into biotic and abiotic substances. Okay. And further, the biotic substances, which are the living things, can be classified into animal and plant origin. Understood? We have a flow chart for this when we move ahead with the slides. So let's not get confused right now. When you see that flow chart, you'll get a clear picture of what I'm talking about. Let's move on to the next slide. Here you see a few images. The same images are given on in your textbook also, page number 43. First image is the soil. Second is logs of wood. There is leather, stones and cotton. All of these are naturally available in the nature. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Man-made substances. Now, do we find plastic, nylon, brass or cement in nature? Do you just walk around and you find plastic growing somewhere? Is it naturally available, or nylon, or brass, or for that matter even cement? No, none of these are naturally available. Okay, they are made. So let us study man-made substances in detail now. It is human nature to strive for newer things and to try to make the life comfortable. As a result, man has not only learnt to use natural substances but also began to process them to make new substances. So, many man made substances are used today as they are available in plenty at a low cost, and so they are used on a large scale. What are these man made substances? How are they made? New substances produced by processing the naturally available substances are called man-made substances. Okay, is it clear? There are many man-made substances in daily use. Okay, we come across many man-made substances every day. Like for example, a plastic bottle or a plastic chair, our leather shoes, okay, our notebooks. Understanding? Even though the pages that are made in the notebook are made out of trees, okay, but you just can't start writing on the trees. There is some processing done on the natural substances and it is transformed into a paper where you can write. Okay, earlier irlis made of grass were used for protection from rain. Now we use raincoats, umbrellas made of plastic. Now what are irlis? It's like a cape that is worn around the body. You all must have seen in some movies earlier that the farmers used to use the irlis while they were farming during rainy season. Okay, sort of a raincoat which is made out of grass. Okay, that is known as irlis. But nowadays, what do we use for protection from rains? We are using umbrellas, raincoats that are made out of plastic. Now, big cartons or thermocol are used for packaging as they are waterproof or water resistant, lightweight and easy to transport. That is why they are used increasingly. Now this is also a man-made substance, a thermocol or the big cartons that are used for packing your refrigerator, or if you have newly bought a washing machine, you will see how the packaging is done. Yes or no? There's a cardboard, there are thermocol pieces inside so that the product reaches your place safe. So they are either water resistant, they are waterproof, they are very lightweight and they are easy for transportation. Since the life becomes easier and more comfortable, all these man-made substances are produced. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. Here are a few images for you to see. Leather shoes, notebook, pillow and chair. What are these? These are all man-made substances. Okay. Now, use your brain power. On page number 44 of your textbook, you will come across a green chart. Complete the chart below showing how substances of daily use are classified. The substances in daily use will be classified as natural and man-made. See, this chart already comprises of the answers. I have already written the answers for you. So you are going to write down this chart or draw the flow chart nicely in your notebook. Okay, make a proper box and draw the flow chart. All the blanks that are given in your textbook are filled by me. You can see on your screen. Okay, so the substances in daily use are classified into natural or man-made. Natural substances are again classified into abiotic and biotic. The biotic substances are classified into plant origin or animal origin, and the examples of which are plant origin is cotton and animal origin is leather. Similarly, on the second hand, we have man-made substances and the example of which is plastic. Okay. On the same page, you will see classify the various substances available in the house as natural and man-made substances. In your house, you have a television, you have a laptop probably, you have a sofa set, you have mats, you have glasses, you have refrigerator, you have so many items around you. So all these you are going to classify depending on what? depending on whether they are natural or they are man-made. So for example, in the hall, you have a flower vase and you've placed a few roses. So now roses are what? Natural. Okay, now what is man-made? The pot that you're keeping the roses in, that is a man-made object. A chair at your place is a man-made object or a man-made substance. Similarly, you can come across many objects in your house. So make a list of at least 20 objects that you see around you and then classify them according to natural or man-made. Is that clear to everyone? Okay. Now examples of man-made substances. Depending upon the area of use, we are going to see what natural and man-made substances can be used. The area of use, for example, if it is a construction site, what natural substances can you use there? You can use bamboo, stone, soil, wood, coconut fronds. What are coconut fronds? Coconut fronds are the outer covering of the coconut which you peel off. The fruit is inside. You all must have seen your parents peeling off the fronds which are dark brown in color. Yes, before the coconut is broken. So that is nothing but the coconut fronds. And then there is lime. So these are the naturally available substances that can be used at a construction site. But what are the man-made substances that can be used? A brick, cement concrete, galvanized sheets, clay tiles, plastic or asbestos sheet. Sheets are what? Something that covers your roof. Those are the sheets. Okay, now for writing material, what can be used as a writing material which is a natural substance? Okay, it's a tree bark, leaves, bhurja patra, pens made from reeds, dhul patya, stone slates, stone walls in caves, soil and colors made from plants. Okay, and man-made substances are pens, pencils made from plastic and metal, paper, notebook, etc. What are the threads or the fiber or the yarns made up of? They are either made up of cotton, silk and wool, or they are made up of nylon and rayon. Now I have a homework for you all. You all are going to find out what is a bhurja patra and dhul patya. Okay, this is for you to find out. You all use your phone all day long. I just want you all to find out what is the meaning of these. Very, very simple. Okay, but I want you to find it out. Next, glass can be made from sand and calcium carbonate. How is glass made? It is made up of sand and calcium carbonate. However, sand and calcium carbonate cannot be obtained again from glass. So once you make glass out of sand and calcium carbonate, you cannot break glass and say that it is sand and it is calcium carbonate. You can't do that. Okay. You must have observed green chilies or tomatoes turning red after some time. Have you ever seen or heard of red tomatoes becoming green again? So this doesn't happen. It doesn't go the other way around. If you have a green tomato at home, it is not going to, it will become red, but it is not going to become green again. A green chili, it will become red, but it is not going to go back to the green color. So this is an irreversible change. Okay. While making man-made substances, the properties of the constituents undergo a change. This change occurs due to certain chemical reactions. So when there are some chemical reactions on a product, it leads to the formation of something new which is permanent. Okay. That is, the original constituent substances cannot be obtained again from the new substances, and such changes are called irreversible changes. Very easy to understand. Okay, very simple examples given: red chili which cannot go back to becoming green again, and a red tomato which cannot go back to becoming green again. There are some chemical procedures or the processes that happen due to which it undergoes a change that is permanent and you cannot reverse it. Hence, it is known as irreversible change. Understood? In case of any doubts, you can ask the questions on the group. I'll answer all your questions. For now, we are done with the lesson, half of the lesson. Remaining part we will do in the next video. Okay. I hope everyone has understood whatever is taught, and I want everyone to note down all that is given in the slides. Everyone is going to make the flowchart correctly, and I have given you a homework of finding out the meaning of these two new words, Bhurjapatra and Dhulpatya. So these two words, I want you all to find out the meaning of these two words from Google. Okay, I'll cover up, I'll tell you what is the meaning in the next video, but till then you're going to find out. Let me see how many of you will find out the answer. That's for your homework. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.